I'm going to start off with the most pressing question that everyone has. Were
I
you
wonder.
able to give Janine her idol back?
Janine did not get that idol back.
Then why did
Yes.
you say, I see you and I got you?
That so though that was come from a different time. I didn't say that at tribal. I said that actually the night before, like after Ellie went home. I was like telling her like I got you, we're all good. I'm not sure how they put that in tribal, but that was said at a different time. Um, yeah, but yeah, yeah, that was a mess. And when you see her like reaching back, she was like patting my leg because I was like my leg was shaking. She's just like, "You're fine." I was not fine, but she thought I was fine. So yeah,
So she wasn't reaching back for like the idol or
she
anything.
was not like the give me the damn idol back. No, she was not doing that. It was
Okay,
really just you're get like a friendly, just like make sure I was doing fine.
got it. Yeah, everyone had a different read on that. And they were like, maybe we'll get a flashback in the next episode. Like she definitely has it. So Janine's bad luck continues.
Flashback in the next episode would be fun.
You were part of the chaotic merge feast. What was going through your mind when Ryan proposed a final seven?
Um, I was like, that'd be great if it was only that simple. But I think we all knew the game's not that simple. Like, that's not gonna happen. This is
Yeah.
what's gonna happen. We had Gabler saying Ellie went through my bag with Janine in attendance. Like, if you think those two are gonna like make a final seven after that, you're crazy. Now, lo and behold, they both voted with me on the next vote. So they working together now, but it was at that point, I'm just like, this is never gonna work out. This is doomed. Like, I appreciate the sentiment, Ryan, but no. And yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. Noelle told everyone she wanted to keep Cody and she was close with him. Did you feel the same way? Did you throw out any names to keep safe?
Yeah, so at on day 13, right? Yeah, I was trying to keep Cody because like even though like we weren't like best friends, like it's still for my game, saw him as an asset. Like even though he did he called me the strategist a lot back on Bessie. For and I knew he was somewhat threatened by me. Let's be real, like that was clear, but at the same time, I didn't think he would take the shot so early. I was like, listen, I think from my perspective, I saw him as like a shield for me at a physical side of like people might see him as a challenge threat. I can keep that in long term. So I was thinking from his perspective, maybe he sees me more strategic threat. And he can keep me long term and vote me out later if he needs to. So I was thinking I don't want him going home so soon. Now,
Mm.
unfortunately, he wanted me gone real damn soon. But like once again, from our perspective, and I saw it from his perspective incorrectly. Um, but yeah, I was really going to bat for him on the day before. I think I was trying to make sure like he didn't catch a single vote like as a stray option. You see, he got no votes that tribal. I remember talking to Coco about I finally like talk about this. So um that day I talked to Coco, pulled me aside, like how are we gonna split the votes? And I was like, okay, one of y'all put a vote on Owen and Cody and I'll put votes on Owen as well, just in case idols get played. Of course, we didn't put votes on Owen, but that's why Owen called a vote at the at Ellie's vote, just because I was like, okay, Coco needs to put one on Owen. I thought it was gonna be James or Ryan. It was Carla in the end. I think Carla did it for a separate reason, but it was still like I kind of was like, you should vote Owen as a stray. Like it was a great idea. So that's why that happened. To
Okay.
shed some light on that.
So you also weren't like totally in with that Baka and Vessi
No,
alliance.
so it's funny. I just wanted some conflict between Baka and Coco because I just wanted Bessie to just be like at a spotlight. I was like, y'all fight. I don't want to be here. Like y'all go at it.
Got it.
Um, so yeah, it was just trying to make conflict happen between other people because once again, I don't want it happening myself. Because I just felt like if I my name, how do I say, if I felt like if my name got thrown out there a lot, it might catch a lot of steam because I did realize that I was seen as a threat to some people. And it did happen. My name got thrown out there and caught a lot of steam. I caught seven. So, you know, I didn't want to, how do I say this? Like, I didn't want to think like I'm such a big threat. Like people are gonna get me out. So I was like, maybe I will survive if like they might throw out there. So that's why that day I didn't play the idol. I was like, you know what? I trust my allies enough to where they won't put me out. But in the end, my instinct was right. Like they did immediately see me as a problem. So
That's so interesting. Was it solely like your performance you think that made you a threat
I
or
don't fully know, like to
okay.
this day. Like several factors. I heard it was like, some people were afraid like the challenge performances at near the end of the tribe phase, like the puzzles and like the random skee ball stuff. I don't know. Also because I knew the game a lot. So like the super fan always gets scared because they know the game so well, and that's terrifying or something. It was like, damn, my bad for watching the show for God knows how long. Doesn't mean I'm going to be good at it. But like the typical things people target you for. So it happens. It's the game, and you try to avoid what's possible. And even we had a lot of fans on this season. Like Owen and I talked about like how like we were just talking about how super fans were in the show, and we
Mhm.
bonded on that. So like the small things you see, it's acid for some, negative for others.
Uh,
So I just chose to be myself because it was like I built a lot of great bonds because I was being myself out there. Unfortunately, some people did not like that and got me out anyways, so it's fine.
Gabler also took control of the situation by throwing out Ellie's name. He got his way, but I'm curious, what were the conversations like after that meal? Did people want to work with Gabler or did they want to avoid Gabler because of his big move?
Um, how do I answer this? It was a lot of the Gabler made it very clear he was not afraid to say someone's name and like go at them with the fury of a thousand suns. So for me and a few other people, it was like, okay, if we say another name and like go against Gabler, he might come against us with the same fury he's going after Ellie. So it's like satisfy the crazy man, get Ellie out of here, and then cool. Like he's control. Like at that point, it's controllable.
Mhm.
Like let him get Ellie out, and then maybe he'll be satisfied for like I said for Baka Vessi. If he gets Ellie out, then maybe he will work with Baka Vessi long term. But if Ellie's in the game, Baka Vessi will never happen. Everything we worked for at this point goes to shambles, and then it's like we gave up our majority for nothing. So voting out Ellie for me and the rest of Vessi was like, okay, we're satisfying his needs here to keep Baka Vessi, our alliance, strong in that regard.
Mm,
So that was just a 1 for 4 trade essentially.
okay. You did vote out Ellie, but you also warned her before that about Gabler. So were you like feeling things out? Were you
Yeah.
possibly considering working with her?
At that point, yeah, I was just feeling things out. Like there was a consideration of like, not like I said, I considered not doing it for a while, but I didn't want to lean too much into the he's the strategist mastermind thing so early. Like I said, it's about managing your threat level. And I felt if I started making something happen right then, I would be going home the next day for being too much of a strategist. And I still went home the next day for being too much of a strategist after not doing too much of a strategy, but it's fine.
There are some theories. We saw Jesse and Carla, they actually did connect after the merge. There's a theory that they knew each other just because they went to the same school, which I'm like, I feel like Berkeley's
I can shut that
probably.
down now. No, that's no.
Yeah,
They went to the
okay.
same school. Yeah, but they did not. They didn't know each other beforehand. No.
Okay. I thought so. Yeah, you worked closely with women a lot and you seemed attracted to working with them. Why do you think that was?
That's just who I am, I guess. Like as soon as the merge, like not the merge, as soon as we started the game, I connected with Noelle Steen immediately, connected with NECA immediately. Like I said, I don't let anyone do my hair like ever. So that was a quick bond. I hit the merge. I bonded with Ellie and Janine immediately. I connected with Owen as well. At the merge festival, I connected with Carla because it's so funny. They didn't show this, but Carla and I saw each other looking for like because it's Survivor. The merge feast sometimes has something hidden. So we're just like jokingly like I would like hand her the bread and she would like look under it. Like we're just messing around, like having a good time. I don't know. I guess I get along with the women well on the shows. I'm not saying like I'm like trying to flirt with everybody. Everybody was taken on this. Everyone has a relationship in the season. I think all single people were me and Janine. But yeah, like I don't know, like I just like working with them because that's yeah, like what like when you like be scared because oh my god, the women's alliance. Like no, that's every season people just like oh my god, the women's alliance. Let's get them out now. Like that wasn't please. It's just comedy. People get scared by that. So
um, how did you feel that women were the biggest targets at the beginning of the season? It was just one after the other.
yeah, so that I to be my perspective on that. To get a bit more serious, I guess now. I think that's in part of us being the first reactionary season post 41-42. To elaborate on that a bit more, we came into the game expecting no tribe swap because 41-42 they didn't know they were going to the game with no tribe swap, right? So they're like, okay, they vote out what their early votes. They had Brad, a physical asset. They voted out who else? Voce, physical asset pretty early on. 42, they voted out. How early that was, like more physical? I don't remember. But maybe they have an expectation of we'll have a tribe swap and we can remedy these issues. For our season, started out with the challenge with the heavy boxes, a strength component. Then we had the heavy snake, a strength component. We had don't like boost people up the wall, a strength component. So by nature, the first challenge is set the stage for you're going to need a lot of strength, pure strength to go forwards. So what does that lead? That leads to when you're voting people out, it's, well, and a good example, day one, I was like, okay, Cody's not talking to me too much. We can like maybe vote him out at some point. First challenge happens. I can't touch Cody because from a tribe strength perspective, we are dooming ourselves to be voted him out. And that's why also he never voted me out. Because from tribe strength perspective, we can't touch each other because of the no tribe flop scenario. So then from our tribe, it's Justine first and then NECA. You look at not Ellie, you look at Baka. Mariah goes home first for, I don't know. And then Coco, we vote out Lindsay, once again, tribe. I'm not sure what happened there as well. But it's like the first two challenges, I guess, set the stage for this. The big men can't go home. And that's, I think, why the first five, all the pre-merge boots were women and then the smallest guy on the cast. And that's just my take on it. That's just the theory I came up with because like, it's not a coincidence, it's not a coincidence that happens. And that's something we were aware of. Like when we hit the merge, I remember talking to Owen and I'm just like, the first like four boots were all women. Like that's, and like, we noticed this and still voted out Ellie because that Gabler day. And then when we got to the challenge the next day, when we're at challenge at 12, before challenge time, Jeff talks to us before challenges, like as he does. He was telling us like we were the first season to have 5 of the first 6 boots be women, and so when we later on that day when we're talking about discussions, you see not a woman's name didn't come up because of that. We were kind of like told, just like, by the way, y'all made history of voting out a lot of women early. Ain't that crazy? Which is to my detriment because as you noted out, I worked well with the women, and then all of them went home. So it's like that was not good for me either. That was awful. So,
what did the cast have to say to Jeff when he pointed that trend out?
It was like we didn't say much. We were just kind of just like we realized like it was we realized it already, but like to have it said to us by the show itself was also just like a damn, like what some of us had talked about. I said some of us talked about it before, but it's kind of like another realization of like we really just like it wasn't good. Like we realized it's not a good thing. And that's why, like I said, not a single woman's name was thrown out during discussions for my vote.
Yeah. Did Jeff say it with like any kind of tone or just like
No.
out stats?
One to be clear. He was just saying stats.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying Jeff was like yelling at us for like voting out women. No, he was being a neutral party, just observing. Like he is a host. He is observing the show and he's letting us know the observation. So I don't even think the observation is factually true, but I digress.
Mm-hmm. Okay. You also had a front row seat to Gabler's minute by minute dedications. He went from Noelle to a war hero to Idaho. Can you remember anything else that was included in that list? And what were the reactions in real time from you guys watching that?
I'll be completely honest. I was just mad at myself for doing so bad in that challenge. I was just like, damn, I sucked at that. And then like he's out here, Gabler, I kid you not, is talking to us with holding it with one hand. He dominated that challenge. Like that was built for him.
That was like, wild. He's been lying down in his shelter. After Mariah was out for strength, he was almost dead. I was like, and then when I saw him with one hand, I was like, what is happening? The strength of Idaho like compelled him.
Yeah, they actually flew in his twin to replace him on day 13. Like you didn't know, like it wasn't obvious they switched him out, but like I guess like the merge feast like fueled him again and brought life into his body and all of our bodies. But he like destroyed that challenge. Let's be clear, like that was no question. That was made for him. But yeah, I wish I could tell you more stories that he had, but I genuinely just tuned out because I was just like Like I was just so mad at myself. I was like, I should have done better in this. But
No, that seemed really hard. And I don't know, something magical is happening there. After that challenge, what was the talk like about Gabler's performance? Do you think it helped him, or was like this guy is a threat for so many different reasons?
there was zero talk about Gabler's performance whatsoever. It was kind of like a congrats, he did well. Yeah, so this Alec Gabler thing he's talking about, that happened because, and I kid you not, he said, I don't want to talk strategy today. I'm going into the water. And he went into the water and was fishing the entire day. Like I told him minutes before tribal who to vote for, and he's like, cool. That's why, yeah, like he wasn't involved with strategy talks. He was just he like he said, he wanted Ellie gone, and now he's under the surface. Like he's just along for the ride at this point because he did what he wanted to do. He got his target out, and now he's playing it low, which I respect that.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's really I'm still thinking of like what were the conversations about him?
Oh, when I tell you, there were like genuinely, it was just like a damn, he killed that challenge. Anyways, back to strategy. Like it was really just we weren't just like all amazed with his like
Got it.
yeah, we weren't like talking like lauding us. Like we have our own games to focus on. We can't talk about a guy who's safe. Like that's
Yeah,
just irrational.
sure. There's no point. All right. Well, that looks like it's all of our time. Thank you so much for this conversation. I
Thank you.
had so much fun talking to
Oh
you.
my God, you too. Appreciate it so much.